Hi everyone. I am sitting here completing my Reiki 1 course that I start teaching this year, as I just am now receiving my Master Teacher Certificate from Lisa and Luca at Sweet Harmony Healing Arts right here in Craftsbury. And I realized that I wanted to make a quick video just kind of talking about what Reiki is, in hopes to clear up any questions or misinformation that you might have about it. I do get a lot of people coming to me asking me, what is Reiki? Is it real? I even get people who have said, how is that even possible? How can you put your hands on somebody and heal them? It just seems like a fake thing, which is understandable that you'd think that. But to answer that particular question, if you think about being a mom, if you're a mother or if you have a mother, then you know what hands-on healing is, and you've experienced it, and you know that it's real. Another term for it is magnetic healing. So when our babies fall down and they cry and they get hurt, what do? We're moms. We pick them up, we put them in our arms, we put our hands right on the area of their body that they bumped or bruised, or we rub their backs, and what happens? Our children calm down, they're comforted, and they get down and move on. So that's part of it. And there's a lot of other things to it. So the history of Reiki is pretty clouded. I am grateful that I've had two incredible teachers, Sierra Thayer from Indigenous Roots Institute in Woodbury, and Lisa and Luca from Sweet Healing Harmony Arts in Craftsbury. They both have websites. You can check them out. Both of them have what I feel like is the direct lineage to Dr. Makayo Asui, who is the founder of Reiki and the centers in Japan, and he is the person who brought it to the United States when he was visiting Hawaii, and he was visiting a student, Miss Takata, and gave her a master's degree and Reiki master's degree, and then eventually, just before he died, named her Grand Master. So she sort of took the helm of that and started giving master's degrees in Hawaii and on her, and it goes on and on. And in my classes, I teach about a lot about the history, as other Reiki master teachers do as well. But it's a really interesting story, and it's a beautiful, rich history of healing, coming through Japan, but also originating from Buddhism and Taoist practices. So the more I know, the more I'm fascinated by it. So that's an interesting part. Reiki for me is absolutely a way of life, and it's a way of life that involves being in practice of compassion. And this is like a lifelong thing for all of us. And it's not just compassion, it's the deepest sense of the word. It's the deepest understanding of compassion. I mean, you just keep going deeper as you move through all of the Reiki levels into your masters. It's very intense. You begin Reiki by working on self-healing. The Reiki 1 is about self-healing. I mean, we can't necessarily take care of each other or take care of the world around us if we are not okay. And all of us have traumas from this lifetime, past lifetimes. We have genetic trauma, depending on what part of the world you might be from. There's so much for us to work through. I have some tuning bowls going. I hope that's okay. So Reiki is one of my best friends. It has literally, I got to the point in my life where I realized I was stuck, and boy, did I have some issues, some old patterns, some habits I had come to awareness of that were holding me back from who I am and my own inner power. So I reached out, and Reiki assisted me in a really gentle, loving way to move through those things and become aware of them. Let them rise, let them come to the surface so you can see them and understand them and work through them. Because we can't work through any of these things without understanding of what it is. We have to become aware, and Reiki assists you in doing that. And it's within the practice. So there's self hands-on healing. There's incredibly beautiful meditations that you can practice any time of day, anytime you need grounding. And there's the principles of Reiki that you repeat in the morning, and you repeat traditionally in the morning and in the evening. Just for today I will not anger, just for today I will not worry, and on and on. So just being in this practice really transforms you, and then transforms your life and all of your choices. And just being in the practice of compassion is the most powerful thing I've ever experienced in this lifetime. In practicing compassion, you move through your own wounds. You compassion for yourself, forgiveness for yourself for whatever it is, and self-love that comes. And then what seems to happen is that you gain the strength and capacity to forgive. Maybe forgive the people who caused or were part of your trauma or past life trauma, or on and on. And in that capability, we are affecting those people. Even if we don't, it's not about saying I forgive you to their face or being in physical presence with them. Just forgiving them in our mind, body, spirit, we are forgiving them, and the effects do take place whether we can see them or not. And it's really magical. I've experienced so much of this, and it has opened my mind. It has opened my perceptions. It has opened the portals in my mind that were closed because of fear, because of anger, because of self-doubt, low self-worth, to so many other things. When we can forgive that person who hurt us so badly, we're healing them at the same time we're healing ourselves. So it's huge. It's a collective healing practice, and it's incredibly powerful. And I am so grateful that I had the experience all the way up to my master teacher certifications, and now I can share this with people who want to come to me. And there's so many incredible master teachers in Vermont and beyond. And everyone is drawn to the person they feel they can go do this with, because this is intimate work. And so you need to feel, that the vibe, that you feel safe with that person, and that's a wonderful thing. There's so many misconceptions around Reiki. There's a lot of books out there that aren't helpful. This book here, Reiki Fire, by Frank Araha. I don't know how to say his name. Frank Petter is what I'll say. His middle name it looks Hispanic. It's a beautiful name, but I'm not describing well. He really has, for all the readings that I have been required to do, he has the closest connection to the history and origins of Reiki, because it's difficult to find the information. It really is. And I do require, or will require, my Reiki 1 students to read this book. It's not a very long book. It's beautifully written, and it has almost everything you need to know just to begin and understand what Reiki is. And it's a beautiful book, and I always go back to it. So if you're questioning what Reiki is, I hope that this is helpful. Please ask me questions in the comments, and I'll answer any question you have. I do have Reiki classes listed on the workshops page on my website, and there will be more listed. There's one that'll, I think, come up in April or May, and that will certify me as officially as a master teacher, and I'm really excited. And Lisa and Luca will be there with me, assisting me with that, so that will be exciting. But I really just, before I go, I really just want to emphasize how powerful Reiki is for you as an individual. It's not necessarily about healing others. It's about healing you in the deepest, most profound way. And it's so gentle and so loving. And I mean, compassion is, boy, we need so much more compassion. We don't realize it, but there's so much more we can do. And I'm grateful for Reiki because it teaches us how to do that. And I'm really excited to be able to share it with more people in the world. I can't tell you how grateful I am that I have obtained this, and I've worked so hard with myself and beyond to get to this point. And even when you're at the practitioner level, for those of you who are still really questioning it, I'm a practitioner, and I will say that I am not the healer. No, I'm not. I've been attuned to the Reiki energy that will flow through me, and I am in practice of Reiki and compassion and healing the self. And so, eventually, Franz Stein, he's on Facebook. I'm going to put some links in the comments here so you can find these people I'm talking about. He always says, become Reiki. Become it so that your energy exudes it and you're healing others around you without having to put your hands on them. And that's absolutely true. But as a practitioner, I am not the healer. What I do is I create space for somebody to come who is ready and willing, and they know when they're ready and they come. And I create the safe space, the healing space for them to lay down on my table and relax and rest. And then the energy, I can activate the flow through me. And the person on the table, their body intuitively knows where the Reiki's needed, and that's where the energy flows. It could be disease, it could be emotional, anything. The body knows. It's incredible. And animals do this instantaneously. They know exactly what they need, and they come sit on your lap, and they know that you're Reiki attuned. They absolutely know. It's so great. And they'll take a nap on you while your hands are on them, or maybe you're just holding your hands near them if they don't want to be touched. So, you're respecting people's space and animal space too. I can give Reiki to a horse through a fence if I just am in meditation and focused on the Reiki energy flowing through me, and my hands are open, and I'm offering to the horse. I always say, especially if I'm sending distance Reiki, which is an invisible way to send Reiki to someone far away, it absolutely works. I've tested it with lots of different people. It's almost as powerful as in person, or is really. I always ask permission, so I say I'm sending Reiki to this person. If it's not wanted, please send it to the earth, because you never want to impose. You want to imply, but not impose. So yeah, I hope that this clears some things up for you. I hope that this excites you about what Reiki is, and I hope that you'll look at my classes or other practitioners' classes that are in the area that are in your area that you might be ready to go check out. It's a beautiful thing. It's fun. It's very grassroots. It's changed my life. So I'm happy to share, and hoping the best for you, and hoping to share more about Reiki in the future. Thanks for listening.